Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the GW Panther. It's the Tier 7 German SPG. This one's located on the north spawn of Kharkov, and it's under the command of General Disturbance. Yes, it's one of my replays. Yes, one I played in the GW a short while ago. Game on. Well, you can see I've got 2 marks on the barrel already. I've had this Arty for some time. Never got around to the 3rd mark, but I am very, very close to it. Actually, I think it's around 93 or 94%, and it won't be long before I get the final bit to take it over into the 95% mark and get my 3rd mark. It's a 15cm howitzer, which is capable of doing 600 alpha, and it'll penetrate through 39mm of armour, and I've got a few premium rounds which will do 730 and penetrate 49mm of armour, but of course a slightly less burst radius. This one is capable of doing 7.2, the other one is capable of doing 4 meters burst radius. Now you might wonder why I did that, but I actually was talking when I should have been actually watching. I'll rewind that because obviously you want to get the hit that I actually managed to get. I moved into the bush to be hidden from the enemy, and suddenly I noticed there was a Batchat 25 TAP. CN9 fired a snapshot in, and this time it did work for 557, so I had the feeling I actually penetrated him with a low pen roll. Or low roll pen. He's not a happy bunny at this moment. And he's lost even more hit points now. Rounds out. Well, I've taken another 89 off him, which makes me a 1-shot, and there he goes. He's out the game. Okay, the reason I moved into this position originally was to get shots on the enemy tanks at the other end of this corridor. Enemy tanks in the town, you can easily hit them if they start facing up against our guys along that road. Along that gap between the buildings. They tend to hover around this corner, and if they do occupy this corner you can splat them. I think that Oni must have taken some splash because he's down to 91% and he was stunned, so I suspect he was closer to the shell, but he was unspotted at the time the round went in. Well, that time round I hit the T29, which was actually behind the A phase 1. I think the shell went long and actually went right over the top of the A phase 1 and right into the face of the T29. Now I'm kind of ignoring the tanks that have gone to the city centre area. I fired another one in, and there was a blind hit there on the A phase 1. The T29's gone to the right. There he is, he's poking his way through that gap in the building. The Oni is behind the other building, so it must have been the A phase 1 that was sitting on that corner when the shell hit him. I'm going to try and get the Oni if I can. Rounds out. Yep. 263 off that one. Yeah, you can see the A phase 1 took a hit because he's missing some hit points. I thought about firing a shot through that window to see if I could catch that T29 again, but I'll fire another blind shot on this corner, and yes, he's still there. He took the round. No explosion, so we know he was hit. Now the reason I went into the bushes right at the other end is obviously that enemy light tanks have a habit of coming up the trench, and if you sit in that position you might get spotted if you're not within the bushes. So it actually does pay to put a bit of cover around you, although sometimes you might want to pull back a bit further if you want to get shots. Now, over on the other side of the battlefield, we notice a GW Panther and an LT432. It's a tier 9 game with tier 7 tanks in it. That means I'm bottom tier. A direct hit on the GW Panther to 208. Let's see if I can try and do that again. Or hit the LT432, who's just sitting in the bushes. I've marked the GW Panther, so I really should hit him, but let's see, can I get one on target? Rounds out. He pulls back, but he still takes a splash for 189. I'm now up to 1,500 hit points, and this was after the nerf. So I was actually testing to see had the gameplay improved at all. Okay, he's now one shot or a splash kill. Bounce out. Yep, got him. So that will help my Tiger colleague over on the west side of the map. Still that LT432, but I've switched targets and gone back to the Oni and the A Phase 1. We can see the Oni is actually trying to get into a defensive position to stop our guys from coming around the corner. And from my current position, it's not good because I've only got a few gaps that I can fire through to try and get at them. I suddenly noticed there was an enemy tank on that corner, a bit late unfortunately, because the ISU 152K just took out our ELC M90, and I fired a round in there, but unfortunately it went long. I believe there's two tanks on that corner, and the the ISU has just been wiped out by our IS-6. Okay, we've got the A Phase 1 moving down to the corner. There's a Tiger at the back, and the Oni is somewhere in the vicinity. Now, can I fire a round through the gap at the enemy? GW Panther's moved up. He's just proxy spotted the Oni. I might try and get around through the gap at him. Oh, hits the building and stuns my own teammate instead. That's not good. Whenever it says you've hit an ally, it normally means that you've got no chance of getting a high caliber now. But we'll see. Okay, enemy Arty's been spotted at the back. It's a GW Tiger P. I'm dialing in. Almost there. Ready to go. Rounds out. It should be a direct hit. And it is. Luckily, he did take a hit from one of my teammates just before my shell arrived. So my one just did the coup de grace and finished him off. And now we're working on this Tiger 1. I've marked him as target. Okay, lands out on the Tiger 1. Lands next to him, but it only stuns him. I think I damaged his tracks as well. But it's not showing at all. See if I can get one on him before he pulls back into cover. Rounds out. Blind shot. No, it went long. Okay, there's 5 enemies left, and we've got 6 on our team. We've got the west side of the map, but we're running short on tanks in the town centre. Okay, LT432 and a Progetto. Which one do I go to? Progetto, I think. Dialing in on that spot just in case he hasn't moved. No, it doesn't look like I hit him, but he might have still been there. The Tiger just got hit by our GW Tiger P, but our Viz is now in a whole world of trouble. The Tiger 1 got wiped out by our T-34-2 GFT from just over by the hill, but the A Phase 1, oh, he's actually under fire as well, and he's gone to the Borsig. So that means there's only 3 enemies left. They've got an Arty, which is an SU-14-1, a Progetto 46, and the LT-432. There's the 432, rounds out, and I tag him for 163, and he's wiped out. Okay, I'm going to have to get a move to get closer now. Plus, there's always the possibility that Progetto 46 might try to escape and head north towards our GW Tiger P. No, he's actually going around to attack our Borsig. He did take a hit, but I think it's the T-34-2 GFT that's going to take him out. I fire around him as well. Stun him. Get a bit of splash. He got rid of his stun straight away to stop him from being affected. And there's the SU-14-1. I'm not loaded yet, but I will be momentarily. And the battle is already over. Here's the end of battle stats for the first game, and that was an ace tanker game in the GW Panther. I managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, I got 13. I also managed to get a Confederate medal for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on my team, at least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other teammates, and my win rate from the battle was 3,733, which is acceptable. It's super unicum. Let's have a look at team score. Well, nowhere near the highest damage in the game. That went to the Skoda T50, who got a high caliber for 3,792. The second highest damage was their Progetto, 3,438, I think that is, yes. And 3,015 went to the IS-6 on our team. I only managed to get 2,360, but it's okay. When it came to kills, I actually share second spot because the Skoda T50, the Borsig, managed to get 3 kills, and so did the AE Phase 1 on the enemy team. I got 2 kills, and so did the T34 2GFT. When it came to base XP though, oh, that was the wrong key, that's the right key. I actually did get the highest in the game, 1,157. I think that may have been down to the stun assist. 1,040 went to the IS-6 and 974 went to the Borsig. I fired 19 rounds, got 7 direct hits, 1 penetration on the enemy, 15 splash. I'm pretty sure that pen was on the Arty, but I'll just check that. Yes. Oh, no, it wasn't actually. That's interesting. Yes, it would have been the Batchat 25T AP right at the start of the game. Yes, that was the one. Yes, as I said at the time, it was a low roll penetrating shot. Okay, going back to detailed. 15 splashes on the enemy. 2,360 hit points, all of it done at more than 300 meters. Damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 2, and did 1,138 hit points of stun assist off 13 stuns. On a premium count, I earned 45,860 credits, 22,930 from personal reserves, 68,789 altogether, and after ammunition resupply, 47,509 credits profit. I got 30 bonds out of that game. 1,735 XP times 4 for the first victory, same again from personal reserves, and took away 8,677 experience points altogether. So not a bad game. I did say knock knock. It was basically to alert them that I was there, and yes, I was getting a fair number of blind hits on the enemy, especially that AE Phase 1 who just sat on that corner, and I just kept firing in there and he was still there all the time taking the shell. Which is a bit silly really, because if you get hit by RT once, you should pull back to avoid it, or at least change your position so that the enemy can't get another shot on you. But no, he just sat there and took it. So that's the first game, an ace and a Confederate. Let's have a look at the second battle. The second battle is in the GW Panther on the south spawn of Pearl River, and it's in my Fort Q2 account. Now that account also has a 2 marked GW Panther, as you can see, and I'm moving off to my usual firing position. Don't always go to this one, but it's one I find actually does give you good angles on some of the tanks in the village. So this is why I tend to go here and relocate if the enemy works out where I am. Okay, we've got the arc centered. It's a 52-degree arc, 26 degrees either side of the centre line. Oh, and the enemy's already made it through. And my first shot actually only stuns the T-34-85M. The enemy did get an MT-25 into the village, but our MT-25 went in there as well, so it's up to them to take him out. In the meantime, I'm reloading. Okay, we've got 2 tanks now, rounds out, and I splat both of them with some splash. The standard reload is 25.89 seconds. I think my reload is something like about 21 or thereabouts. Of course, using chocolate, premium consumables, and a rammer, and a fairly good crew. Now, I tried to get the T-34-85, but it didn't work out so well. In fact, actually, all I did was stun the Viz 44-1. We also lost the battle with the MT-25 in the village, and I think the enemy MT-25 got wiped out as well. Okay, so the enemy now occupies the village, and I've got no shots on any of the enemy over there, so I'm going to go over to the heavy area over on the far east side of the map. Okay, T-28, rounds out. I hit him on the rear for 249. One of the enemy tanks is actually trying to make his way round. There's a Black Prince and a Budgie. And I just suddenly spotted that, and I'm just trying to see if I can get a shot on those guys. Can't get a shot on the Budgie, but I can certainly hit the Black Prince. Rounds out. Yep, direct hit for 300. He fixes his stun straight away. The Budgie has been joined by the T-34-85M, the very good player. And our guys are having a bit of trouble, actually. We just lost the T-37. Let's see if I can put a round into that T-34-85. Rounds out. Yep, got him on the rear. 235. See if I can keep these guys stunned. It'll make it easier for my teammates to actually get the kill. They've got a Skoda T-56 down there. T-34-85M's gone, which means I'll have to then try and hit these guys as quickly as I can. Mark the T-28. Rounds out. Another hit. 239. And it stunned the IS-2 too, who was there at the same time, and our Skoda is chasing the Budgie. He said, yeah, he doesn't particularly like what the Budgie did, and the Budgie's gone. So I think that T-28's about to get shot in the rear. If I can keep these guys stunned. Well, I stunned the T-28 and the IS-2 too. I'm picking up some stun assists because I think that Skoda's unloading on those guys from behind. Unfortunately, I think our Viz 44-1 is likely to die any second. Oh! I stunned and splashed the T-28, but he's got the Viz 44 isolated and he's killed him. But, yep, there goes the T-28. The Skoda came up behind him and gave him what for. Okay, so we've still got this Black Prince to deal with. The one I hit earlier. That's out. That landed right in front of him, but I got something out of it. Okay, we seem to be doing rather well over on the other side of the map. The enemy Arty is actually focusing over there at the moment. I've thought about changing direction. I think the Black Prince has gone down that alley, and our Skoda T-56 is actually making his way around, so he might spot that Black Prince any second, and I might be able to get around into him when he does. The enemy, meanwhile, has been actually spotted coming towards our cap area from going round the village at the base level. Come on, Skoda, find the Black Prince for me. Okay, he's not there. And I noticed those tanks trying to come around the bottom end, but look at this Skoda. He's sitting up there, all imperious, and I'm dialing in. Let's see, wait, stop for a second. That's it. Right, stay there. Direct hit. 249 onto his engine bay. He's stunned. He's not very happy. We're 4 tanks up on the enemy now, and they've only got 4 tanks left. And it looks like they're about to lose the Skoda because our Skoda is actually making his way into the village. And he's got a Carnarvon for company as well. So, yeah, I don't think the BK2801 or the Skoda are going to have much fun. And I suddenly noticed the Skoda managed to sneakily get down. And I didn't get that shot on target just as he was coming towards me. But he has been taken out. So I'm now going to try and keep this Viz 44-1 occupied. The Carnarvon's coming up behind him. Oops, he just suddenly realised there's someone behind me. Rounds out. And that stuns him, tracks him. And he's now taking fire from others. And yep, he's popped his turret. He was Amarak, and that was the last enemy tank. Here's the end of battle stats from that one. And yet again, it's another ace tanker for 4Q2. Another bruise the medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. This time I got 8. And another Confederate as well. So I'm rather consistent here, getting the same medals and the same Arty. 1,848 win rate, which was good, but not fantastic. Just satisfactory, really, more than anything. Let's have a look at team score. Well, you can see that the highest damage in the game was done by that Skoda T56. They're very OP tanks at the moment. He got a high caliber top gun and a steel wall from that game. They won't be OP for very much longer because obviously Wargaming is going to nerf them. Jingles said that, so is Klaus Kellerman. It won't be long before they suddenly find that they won't be penetrating as many shots and that they've been nerfed overall. 3,945 hit points of damage went to the Skoda. 2,798, I think that's 98, went to the T34-2 GFT, and 2,269 went to the Viz 44-1. I only managed 1,676, and one of the enemy team managed to score more than I did, so that puts me in 5th place on damage. When it came to kills, it was the Skoda. He got 6 kills, Top Gun. 3 kills went to the T34-2 actually the T34-2 actually, not the it's the medium tank. 2 kills went to the Carnarvon and the T34-85 and also the T28 on the enemy team. I didn't get any kills at all, but that actually helped me to get the Confederate. When it came to base XP, I'm in 2nd place because the Skoda, who scored the high caliber, he got higher than I did. 1,318 to him, 1,134 went to myself, and 1,012 went to the T34-2. I scored... I fired 13 shots, got 5 direct hits, no penetrations this time round, 16 splash, damage of 1,676 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Hit 6 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, so yes, not getting any kills actually helped me get that Confederate. 245 hit points of damage assistance and 2,853 hit points of stun assist of 15 stuns. Yes, I had reduced damage, but I had increased stun, and that helped me to keep that ace tanker running. 56,039 credits from the game, 28,019 from personal reserves, total of 84,058 altogether, and after ammunition resupply, 69,498 credits profit. 1,701 XP, times 2 for the first victory, 3,402 for completing a mission, 850 for personal reserves bonus, and 7,654 experience points altogether. So yet another ace and Confederate of the same vehicle. Shows I'm tremendously consistent, and they both got 2 marks, so it won't be long before both of them are up to the 3 mark standard. Anyway, let's have a look at the third replay. And in the third battle, I'm in the GW Panther on the north spawn of Murovanka, and this time round I'm in my major nuisance account. Well, I don't play this account very often, and that is the reason why this Panther, doesn't have 2 marks on the barrel. In fact, it doesn't have any marks on the barrel at all. But it is close to getting 1, that's for sure. Now, a little about the GW Panther. It was designed by Krupp in 1943 and 1944. They made scale models so they could show Hitler exactly what they were intending to build. And they moved the engine from the back of the Panther to the middle and put the turret on the back, and the turret was a kind of concession to the German requirement to actually have a turret that could turn 360 degrees and shoot in any direction. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it shoot in every direction. They could only make it shoot 26 degrees either side of the center line, and our Charfu 204 got hit by a Udes and that EBR Hotchkiss, even though I managed to stun him. So they couldn't make the turret turn all the way around, but at least it could turn 26 degrees either side of the centre line, which gave it a very wide arc of fire. But that still meant that the vehicle had to turn if they were shooting outside the arc area. They didn't make any prototypes. It was shelved mainly because they were making do with the Hummel and the Vespa. Of course, the Vespa was a design to reuse the Panther II, or the Panther II, the Panzer II, and the Hummel was basically built from bits of a Panzer III and a Panzer IV put together. Mostly Panzer IV, with some Panzer III running bits. The Hummel wasn't really what the Germans wanted, and that's why they were considering other options, because the vehicle had to move every time it needed to shoot in a different direction, and that meant a lot of setup time. If you have a turret, it's a lot easier just to turn the turret towards the enemy and shoot without having to set things up. The Germans were very practical. They were thinking in terms of, yeah, we might have to be shooting in different directions at different times, and we don't really want to have to keep changing or turning the vehicle around. Well, we've conquered the Magic Forest, and I did manage to get one hit on a Tiger 1, and I think that Judas is still in that building, waiting for some of our guys to appear. Let's see if the KV-3 spots him. Anyone in? No, he's not there. He has pulled back. Okay, over on the west side of the battlefield, we've got a 50 TP making his way towards the cap. Rounds out. Oh, that was a terrible shot. Hit the ridgeline. It was also, it was a bit snap. Wasn't fully dialed in, but he was on the move. Now, the crew on this Arty is not as good as on the other ones, so it takes them a little while to get things right. Okay, we're loaded. Rounds out. Hit the side of him for 158. Now, another thing about the GW Panther was that they actually put, or were intending to put, a less powerful engine, a non-supercharged engine, the Maybach, into it, and that would have made it a bit slower than the standard Panther. And in fact, actually, they modeled that in the game. So it was less mobile, but it had a better gun. Originally, historically, the GW Panther was known as the Guerrilla 1215, and it was intended to have a 128.5mm gun, not the 15cm. And that was a direct hit there. I think the Tortoise took that one. Or was it the heavy tank? Okay, we've got a Centurion behind that house. Pretty sure he's still there, so I might fire a round in on the off chance. No. Okay, we've got a P44 Pantera. Tier 8 Italian auto reloader. And that one went shallow. I probably should have over-aimed on that one. Aimed a bit further on to actually get the shell near him. I'm now aiming directly at the side of the vehicle. See if I can get it on target this time. And that Super Hellcat's also taking pot shots at our teammates. Tracking the P44, trying to work out where he's going to pop up next. Okay, you're popping up there, aren't you? On the bush. I'm pretty sure that landed near him, and he's been joined by the Super Hellcat. Looking around for the targets. Okay, so we know the P44 Pantera was seen up near the centre line. There's a Type 61 over on the far west side, and our GSOR and Jag Tiger are moving down that side. It's a tier 9 game, by the way, with tier 7 tanks, so I've got plenty of potential to earn extra XP. There's the TNH again. Went unsighted for a while. He moves back, and I got a direct hit on someone. It wasn't the TNH, so somebody was there and took the round. It may have been the Scorpion. So I've switched targets, gone to the P44 Pantera again. You notice I'm not relocating after each shot. I don't think the enemy Arty is either. And a direct hit there on the Pantera. Unsighted shot, a blind hit. Just the other day somebody said, why would Arty try to make a blind hit on an enemy vehicle? Well, sometimes your teammates don't spot for you as well as they should, and Arty players have to then guess where the enemy might be, and if they guess correctly, they get a blind hit. Kunstpanzer moving into position to spot for us, and he's found the Pantera. Okay, now bounce out. Yes! Hit the front of the vehicle, 188. He's now a one shot for any of our teammates in the vicinity. We know that Super Hellcat's nearby as well. There's the Type 61. He's pulled back further from the centre line. It looks like he's going to use those tank destroyer bushes. That's out. Well, it landed where he was last seen, so hopefully... Oh, now the Super Hellcat and the Pantera are working together, so I'm going to try and hit the Pantera again and try and put him out of the battle. Okay, I'm not loaded yet, even though it's showing okay, and the shell's just going in. Rounds out. Well, close, but no cigar on that one. I wonder if I can hit that Super Hellcat. Plenty of targets, but my teammates aren't moving up to take shots at them. And we keep losing sight of the targets, which means I'm having to guess where I think they might be. Still got plenty of rounds though, that's the main thing. Might be worth a blind shot. There he is, it's the Super Hellcat, and he's facing towards me. Oh! It hit the ridgeline rather than him. Again, maybe I should have over-aimed to try and hit him. The GW Panther does have good accuracy. It's got a nice wide arc, low trajectory, and a decent reload time for a 15cm Arty. It doesn't have as good camo as some of the other tanks, mainly because it's quite big and it's quite tall as well. Rounds out the TNH. Tagged him for 6. That may have put him off. Now, where's that Super Hellcat and Pantera? The low trajectory can be a bit of a problem. In fact, you've noticed this. I'm having difficulty trying to hit some of these guys. But rounds out on the Pantera, and this time round, I hit the rear of the vehicle and he's out of the game. Okay, Type 61, switch to the target. There's the TNH. Okay, TNH first. I should, by all rights, go to the Type 61. I marked him, and he has got thinner armour, but the TNH is less hit points. Rounds out, and he pulls back just as I fire, so all I get was stun. Okay, Super Hellcat's popped up again. These guys are really holding up our team from moving south. Gonna try a shot in that direction. Nope, didn't get him that time. Normally when they turn towards you, they make an easier target, because when they pull back, they're going to pull back directly in reverse. They're not going to reverse and turn at the same time, and that makes it easier to predict exactly where they're going to be. At the moment, this guy is rocking backwards and forwards, but oh, he just changed course there. Rounds out. And that time I stunned him, and yes, he has gone down. Okay, so we're switching to the Type 61 this time. And the enemy Arty is coming to sight, so I've got to take him out as quickly as possible. It's an SU-14-1. He might have pulled back into the bushes, so I'll give him a shot anyway. Got him. Blind kill. He didn't pull back into the bushes, so I was right to fire on that spot, because that was where he was last seen. There's only 2 enemies left. There's Scorpion G and the Type 61. I'm going to try and get a bit closer, I think. I've got 8 rounds left. 3 of the premium, 5 of the standard. I'm keeping an eye on them whilst I'm on the move. Normally it's not a good idea to do that, because if you're actually in an Arty, you might actually come across an obstacle and actually flip your vehicle over whilst you're watching. But okay, I've stopped the vehicle and I'm now dialing in to aim at the Type 61. Hopefully I'll be ready very shortly. And that's out. Oh, and I came out of aim view just as I fired. And the Type's about to get wiped out by the Jagdtiger. He's gone. The Scorpion's the last. And he's gone. So this is another victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and I did say that this was one of the accounts where I haven't played the GW Panther as much as I have in the past on other accounts. And you can see this is a first ace tanker. And I've had this account for what, 4-5 years? And I've only just got his first ace tanker in the GW Panther. So I haven't played this account very much. Yes, I did get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. I got 8 in this one, but no other medals in this game. And my win rate was 2,543, better than the last game, but I missed out on getting a Confederate. And the main reason I missed out on that Confederate is I got kills in this one. And if I hadn't got those kills, I would have got a medal. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see when it comes to damage, I'm mid-table because the highest damage was the Kunstpanzer, who got 4,036 hit points. The second highest damage in the game was that Type 61 with 3,754, followed by that Super Hellcat with 3,422. I managed to get 1,716, which is, yeah, it's fair, it's okay. But unfortunately, yes, I could have got the a medal out of it. Let's have a look at the number of kills. The highest number of kills was the Jagd Panther with 5 kills. 4 kills went to the Type 61 and our Kunstpanzer, and I managed to get the 3rd place with the 2 kills, and Scorpion G got 2 as well. Scorpion G got a tank sniper in that game. Our Jagd Tiger also picked up a steel wall. When it came to base XP though, I was right at the top with 1,245, probably due to the stun assist I gave them. 1,191 to the Carnarvon and 1,093 went to the Kunstpanzer. I fired 23 rounds in that game, got 8 direct hits, no penetrations but 18 splash. Damage 1,716 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. I damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 2, so you can see if I actually hadn't killed those tanks, I would have had 7 kills, and that probably, or 7 hits, and that probably would have meant a Confederate medal. I think it's very likely. 2,111 hit points of stun assist off 16 stuns, and I think that combination with the damage I did gave me the ace tanker. 50,757 credits profit, 65,000 from completing a mission and events, 115,757 altogether after ammunition resupply, took away 89,997 credits profit. I should have said that was for the battle, 50,757. 1,867 XP for the game, times 2 for the first victory, 3,735 experience points altogether. So yes, the GW Panther, it's quite an interesting arty because it does have that very wide arc. It's kind of handicapped by its slow speed and the fact it's not exactly something you can hide because it's so tall, but it can be a fun arty to play simply because that 15cm gun does load fairly quickly and you can do a reasonable amount of damage with it. So I hope you enjoyed all those 3 replays. If you did, please give those videos a like. Oh, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And do let other people know that our channel exists, as well as let them know that we've got another channel called The General where you can see really top-notch battles in a virgin client with no commentary whatsoever to annoy you. Yes, I make the videos, but I don't talk on them at all. And so if you want a quick battle to see how somebody actually performs in a particular tank, have a look on that channel. You might find the tank that you're looking for and see how it's played well. Thank you for watching.